Hi everybody, welcome to week 6 of your health assessment course. All right, so let's look at our objectives for this week. Analyze the importance of including a spiritual assessment in the health assessment of the patient. Explore how a nurse educator could integrate spirituality in a health assessment. And evaluate different spiritual assessments regarding ease of use as well as comprehensiveness of data collected. Okay, so topic this week, spiritual assessment. Your studied materials this week provide you with quite a bit of information about different spiritual assessments. And I definitely want to make an important distinction here. We are definitely talking about spirituality, not religion. For some, these are one and the same, but for many, they're very different things. So we might actually see this playing out in our first discussion question. In many healthcare settings, we're required to ask about spirituality in order to holistically assess our patients, right? But what if we hit a brick wall? We may need to define more clearly what we mean by spirituality. So I'll be interested in your responses to our first discussion question. Our second DQ is back to working with nursing students. We have to put back on our educator caps and determine how to address this situation and enlighten the student, but not embarrass him or her or put them on the defensive. And so sometimes that takes a little bit of finesse. Okay, I've had some really interesting discussions with students about spirituality. And I've come to think that it's a bit easier to talk with patients about spirituality if you are comfortable with your own beliefs. And sometimes students just aren't quite there, especially younger undergraduate students. And so they find these patient discussions can be kind of awkward. Some students are also very limited in their knowledge about other religions and spiritual beliefs. And this can cause them to be timid about addressing people about other people of other faith traditions. So that can sometimes play a part too in how we look at that. All right, so those are the discussion questions. Let's move on to this week's assignment. So you're going to choose, or to begin with, it's an actual traditional paper with a word count. So just a regular old paper. You will choose 2 different spiritual assessment tools to describe and analyze, right? Okay, for each tool, you'll provide a description and an analysis of the ease of use and comprehensiveness of the data. Does it address everything you need it to? A discussion of the tool's reliability and validity, and an explanation of how the tool could be used during a health assessment. How would it be incorporated? Where would it fit in? So reliability and validity will really only be found if the tool has been researched, right? So you're going to need to find tools that fall into that category, that actually somebody's explored them from a research standpoint. You're also going to need to access outside resources. You're going to need 4 professional references outside of the ones that were provided in the course materials. So 4 separate outside. Now remember, professional means an article from a reliable source, a website from a reliable source. Blogs are usually not considered professional sources. So, make sure you're using some good material for your paper. An abstract is required for this paper. So it's a regular old paper, so you should have an introductory paragraph, a body, and a conclusion paragraph. Please use my feedback from your previous papers that I've scored and GCU's APA style guide to help you with those references, with formatting them correctly. I think that's where a lot of students get hung up, is really learning that APA format. So I think the paper is fairly straightforward, but please do not hesitate to ask me any questions. That's what I'm here for. All right, so I'm looking forward to seeing what your imaginations came up with on this most recent paper. I'll admit it was kind of an unusual assignment. I don't usually tell my students to just imagine what a patient might be thinking, feeling, or looking like. But I'm actually trying to get GCU to change that assignment. Anyway, I hope to be done scoring those papers by the end of the weekend. And I think that's about it. We are moving right along. And before you know it, we'll be done with this course and you'll have another one under your belt. All right, guys, I'll see you in the main forum.